Every year, Louis Vuitton unveils its new high watchmaking collection on top of the mountain. This year, they chose Courchevel, and thankfully, snowflakes are here. And Michel Navas is going to tell us everything about this new story that is about to unfold. Welcome back. This is Eleonor from Revolution. I am here with Michel Navas, one of the mastermind behind LFT, which stands for La Fabrique du Temps, where all the magic happens when it comes to Louis Vuitton high watchmaking. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome, Eleonor.
Thank you very much for taking the time to actually give us a little bit of insight of the new LV story that is about to unfold. So can you give us a little bit of insights?
Of course, Louis Vuitton is quite new in the watch industry, only 21 years. So we have a big collection, but every year we had different models to this collection. And this year we launched 2 new models of this collection.
And one of the model is the continuity of one of the Audacity prize that you won at the GPHG, which was the Carpe Diem, an artistic and very stylish watch. Can you tell us about this year's novelty, which is called the Tambour Automata?
Tambour Opera Automata.
Tambour Opera Automata.
Yes. We started with the same movement, with the same base, but we moved from the north of Europe because the idea of the Carpe Diem was the Vanité, the north of Europe. The journey comes to China, the Sichuan.
So it's traveling like Louis Vuitton has been doing with their suitcases over time.
Of course, Louis Vuitton is the heart of travel. So we moved from the north of Europe to the Sichuan, the region in China, where we have a very special theater, the bìan, and the actors perform with different masks, and they
change very fast,
very quickly. In a fraction of seconds they can change the mask, and this is the inspiration from this new model.
It's more than an inspiration, because from what you were showing me earlier, inside the case you have 5 animation where it's like a scene of theater that's happening on the dial, on the wrist.
Of course, this is a mix between the art of high watchmaking and the art of theater, as you are telling now. And I can show you, we have the watch here with us.
So it's a pretty thick rose gold case.
Yes, 14 millimeters thickness and 46 millimeters the diameter. And of course, to assemble this watch, we need the watchmakers, the engineers, the designers, but also we need the skills of Anita Porcher,
of course,
our best enamel woman, and Dick Steinman for the engraving. And you have here the tambour case in rose gold and the 5 different animations.
So you have the wink of the eye.
Yes, the eye is blinking here. Yes, you have the eyebrow of the other eye is moving from up to down.
So opening and closing.
Correct. The jaw is moving again.
Up and down, so you can see the teeth that have been delicately designed and painted with enamel.
Correct. And of course the dragon, instead of the snake, here you have the dragon. The dragon moves the head and discover the window for the hours, and the tail of the dragon display the minutes.
So with everything that's happening, you tend to forget to look at the time, to figure out what time it is.
You have to move the scene different times because it's so intriguing.
It's captivating.
Yes, you're captivated for the details of the enamel. We use, of course, the cloisonné for the mask. We use the champ levé for different details of the dragon. We have different techniques of enamel.
So it's more than a technical and artistic watch. It's a true master of art, masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece
that you can wear on the wrist. And kind of in the same line, but I guess if you have 5 animation on that dial, on the second very intriguing and interesting piece that you're introducing this year, which is the Fiery Heart Tambour, you've added 2 more animations, so you've got 7.
Yes.
Is that because it's more towards women that you decided to make it more complicated for them to look at the time?
Yes, for this watch is dedicated to the woman because I think a woman's watch is not a small man watch.
Agreed.
And this one is.
Thank you.
And today is the day of the woman. So
Absolutely. So you're just telling me that you just created a watch for me.
Yes, you're just on time to
Perfect.
launch this watch. And this watch is dedicated to women. And here you have different movements. We have 7 different movements. And we use for this watch a special movement developed at la Fabrique du Temps, Vuitton. It's an automatic movement.
Okay.
No need to wind it. Normally, the women they don't like to.
No, they don't, because the legend says that we tend to chip our nails when we do it.
So that's why we invent a new movement for this watch.
Okay.
And you have here at 8 a pusher, and when you push, you have the animation. The heart is moving. Sweet
So
but fierce. This is the message. We have, of course, 2 different roses at 8 and at 12, and the heart of the roses are moving, rotating in different ways, and the stem of the roses, the horns go out and enter. This is the message, sweet but fierce.
I can be nice, but not too nice. Be careful.
Yes, we have 2 faces sometimes.
Beware like the wolf.
And for this watch we use smaller movement and a smaller case, 42 millimeters instead of 45.
Which is still big for a woman's watch.
It's still big, but it's such complicated to move. It's an automata, of course. We have different movements, opening the heart, the rows are rotating, the fire on the heart are moving from right to left. So we have different movements, and the name is automata.
Of course.
And at 6, you have a flying tourbillon.
Amazing.
So it's a technical watch, romantic, technical, aesthetic.
And I'm sure you'd be very surprised because I'm sure men would be very delighted to wear that kind of timepiece. There's always a part of femininity behind each man.
Yeah, yes, of course, if they want it, but it's dedicated to women first.
But what were the biggest challenges in creating, imagining, and crafting those 2 watches?
The challenge is to gather all the skills to realize this masterpiece. Not only the watchmakers, and for this one, we have the master of enamel in-house at la Fabrique du Temps.
Okay, that's amazing.
It's the premiere, yes.
First.
Yes, it's the first.
Well, congratulations on the work because it's quite impressive, and when you see it, you realize in your hands how much work and how much time and meticulous work has been put into each timepiece.
Yes.
And to add something, both have the Poinçon de Genève.
No,
they don't.
They don't. We have the 3 different models with the Poinçon de Genève, but these 2 are very, very new.
They already have enough.
No, yes, I think.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, my pleasure.
So now if we go and move into something more sleek and minimalistic, yet still very high performance and very technically driven, can you show us and explain the 2 novelties when it comes to Sapphire?
Yes, this is the world of the Sapphire. We have this model in 3 different colors, the white one, the pink one, and the blue one. And this year we launched these 2 models, the yellow one and the green one.
And the yellow echoes the spin from last year, where it was the heart of the color inside the case that made it so different and particular.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, this model has the Poinçon de Genève, the Geneva Seal. We have the chance to be in Geneva. One of the reasons we are in Geneva is to obtain the Geneva Seal, and we got it in 2016.
And it's less than 10 brands right now on the market who have.
Yes, only 5 brands in the world have the Geneva Seal, and we make part of these 5 brands.
And you're one of the youngest.
One of the youngest, and it is the first time we have a crystal sapphire glass and case at the Geneva Seal.
And how difficult is it to actually craft and mine, because you have to drill into the mass in order to obtain a one-piece case.
Yes, we start with a big block of crystal sapphire, and the color, we obtain this color with aluminum oxide, and we burn this crystal sapphire in very high temperature, 2000 degrees Celsius. And to obtain this color, we spent a long time, the technical guys spent a long time to obtain this clear yellow and this dark green. Yeah. And this is the techniques with the aluminum oxides. It's the same way when we developed the rubies on the movements. The red is obtained with aluminum oxide. And this case is the Tambour Moon case. It's concave, it's not convex, and 42.5 millimeters. Very smooth on the wrist, very elegant, and very light.
Very light.
Of course.
Almost like a skeleton.
Yes, it's not a skeleton watch because we designed the movement, as you can see.
But it's very airy, it's very light.
It's a see-through movement, yes. With the flying tourbillon again.
Of course.
And the delicate monogram flower on the top of the tourbillon, and 80 hours power reserve. More than 3 days.
More than 3 days, that's impressive.
Yes, that's what we want to do. A big power reserve or automatic watch. Both.
You need to decide, you need to choose.
Yes, for this one, we want it very, very see-through, so we use a mechanical watch with 3 days power reserve.
Well, thank you so much. How proud of you.
Oh, thank you. I'm very proud too, because I can do at La Fabrique du Temps what I couldn't do in the other company. Yes. And we are young in the watch industry, we have to surprise our clients, but always with the utmost respect for high watchmaking.
Well, that's how you managed to get where you are. That's how you managed to get a price where many brands who've existed more than you have never won that. Yeah. You have the Poinçon de Genève certification, and as you were explaining to me, it's hard to get, but it's even harder to keep.
Yes, it's like the 3 stars of Michelin. It's hard to get the Geneva Seal, and it's hard to get and to keep it. Yes, because every watch has to go to the Geneva Seal office to be checked.
Of course.
During 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks, they'll deliver back the watch with the certificate if all the details of the criteria are respected.
Well, congratulations. Keep going. Thank you so much. And it's always a pleasure to sit down with you and hear all your stories and your passion about that wonderful industry.
No, it's my pleasure to welcome you. Thank you, Eleonor.
Thank you, Michel.
My pleasure.